Hello, 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 everybody.
Hey,
Yay, it's
good
Girlfriend
evening,
Day.
everybody. Welcome to our girlfriend chat, Peek into Pink. We're so excited that you're here. I'm Amy Allgood. I got my girlfriends Crystal and Cindy, and you're going to get to know all of us today. So we're excited, and I'm just thankful. You know, this is the month of gratitude. We learned yesterday on one of our calls about begin in gratitude. And so why don't we start off the chat in gratitude? Just put in there, what are you most grateful for right now in your life? Whatever season, whatever's going on, what are you most grateful for? Put it in there. And really today, we just wanted to have girlfriend chat. So like grab a drink. I want you to literally pretend that we are at a coffee shop sitting on a cozy little couch and you're just talking. We're going to feel like girlfriends, y'all, at the end of this. Okay. So I want you to put something in the chat for me because this is my favorite things to really get to know someone. And I know Cindy and Crystal, they're my dear friends, so they know this about me. I like to go deep, like right away. Like, let's cut through all the stuff. Let's just go for it, y'all. So this one of my favorite questions to get to know people is, what do you want or need more of in your life right now? Like, what do you want, or what's that desire? If you really could say, this is what I want, this is what I need more in my life, put that in the chat. I'm curious to just find out, what that is. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're just going to have some time, and I want you to know, first of all, the girlfriend that invited you thinks very highly of you. This is not something that is just kind of open for everyone. This is a really special call that she sees qualities in you, characteristics, and you're going to hear us talk about some of these characteristics tonight. And when you hear that, like, I hope you feel like, wow, like I am seen and I am valued and I feel so special because you are, first of all, and she sees these genuine qualities in you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And Cindy, why don't you introduce yourself and then we'll have you introduce Crystal.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Cindy Shepa. And I have been growing my business now for 22 years. February 14th will be 23 years. It's the longest I've done anything in my life, even be with a guy. So thankful for my Mary Kay business and have so much gratitude for what it has brought to my life and how it has changed my life forever. So I am excited to get to know Crystal a little bit better because we don't really know each other real well. And so I definitely know of Crystal because she's pretty famous in the Mary Kay world. And I've heard her speak on stage or recordings of her. And so I'm so excited to get to know you better, Crystal. So why don't you just tell us, where you were in your life and when Mary Kay found you? I want to hear your story.
All right. Well, I was living in California, and Mary Kay definitely wasn't something I think I saw myself doing. And I think a lot of people who do Mary Kay can relate to that feeling before getting started. I was in a very transitional stage in my life. I was a brand new mama. From the outside looking in, I mean, my life honestly looked really great. I was newly married. My husband and I had great jobs. We just bought a new home in one of the most desirable neighborhoods. We had our baby girl. We were happy, drove nice cars, like all the things. Our grass looked green. But in that transitional stage of having my first baby, I was really going through asking those questions like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? As I'm transitioning, going back to work full time and watching my mom get to spend all day with my baby. That was a lot of internal struggle that I was going through. And so Mary Kay actually was brought to me by a girlfriend, a new friendship that I'm so thankful for. She is one of my besties now. We met at a wedding. Okay, so we were in a wedding together. We had a mutual friend. She started Mary Kay, and you guys, at the time, and she'll probably see this, she was a hot mess. I can say this because she admits it herself. She was hot mess express. She was like working in 2 different hospitals. Like she was just, hot mess. And she introduced me to Mary Kay, and she was earning a free car. And I was like,
if she could do it,
I could do it. It was so judgmental of me. It gave me hope because I'm like, my girlfriend, this new friend I have, she's everywhere, like just crazy girl. And it really just gave me hope. She is now one of my besties for the restie. We've been growing our business now. It'll be 15 years next month.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful that friendship brought this business opportunity to me, even though I was hesitant. She also, let me just tell you, introduced me and asked to share Mary Kay with me probably close to 8 times, and I turned her down. So if there's a guest on here tonight and you're like, all right, I'll show up, but this is the last time, that was me. I finally was like, I have to say yes, or else she's going to like take me off of, I think it wasn't, I don't think we had Facebook at the time.
Do not call list.
Oh no, like MySpace.
MySpace or something, like she's going to take me off her MySpace list. So I said yes, the rest is history. And I would just have to say that is one of my biggest blessings is the friendships that I've gained through this business. And Amy, who has become one of my besties through this Mary Kay, we have an interesting story of how we met. Might involve some boobies. That'll have everyone's attention. So Amy, I'm going to throw it to you. Share with them how we met.
Oh my gosh, they're like, what kind of call is this? I didn't know this side of Mary Kay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, we're real girlfriends, y'all. We, seriously, real talk. So yeah, Crystal and I actually met as brand new nationals. We were backstage pumping. Okay. So we got to know each other really intimately. Our boys were they're like 5 days apart, I think. I mean, they're really, really close. So we were both had moved up to the top position in the company. And then like had a baby, like immediately after that happened and got to know each other and and her Hot Mess Express, friend too. I think we all were, probably going to the spa, I think is how we all kind of ended up connecting. But what's really awesome, you guys, is when you go on these trips, your husbands get to meet. And that brings it to like this whole nother level. And then they start looking forward to it every single year and getting to connect. And now they've come, and now actually Crystal's husband, I joke and I tell everybody, I'm like, the only way that anything gets put up at my house is when my friend Ryan comes and they have to, come and do that. He's like, what do they call it? You're my honey to do. He's my honey to do guy, to be able to do that. And just so awesome. But our girls have met and loved each other, and our boys played like they knew each other like little brothers. It's been so cute. And it really is like such a blessing, like Crystal said, and you don't realize like the gifts that will come from that. And so often, when, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but, I have, of course, outside friends that are not in Mary Kay, but there is a different level of like thinking. There is a different synergy, when you're around like your Mary Kay girlfriends. And I think it just has to go through, our culture. Our culture is so unique. And, we were talking earlier before we hopped on just about the uncertainty in this world. And, we see companies closing down and we see these different things. And so I'm just very, very thankful that, we're not like facing that, and that we get to really be there as girlfriends and talk about, talk about that. But Cindy, talk a little bit about that. I think that that's something really important for us to kind of unpack a little bit, for them to understand, like, what are these women like? Why would this make us? Why is it that iron sharpens iron? So unpack that. Let's kind of go there a little bit.
Yeah, it said that you are like the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I have found that to be so true in this business. And I have found that it is the best people in this. Like, I get to surround myself with such incredible, empowering, godly women that we praise each other to success. We pray for each other. We lift each other up. We elevate each other, right? I've had the privilege of being among the top of the top as a top director. Y'all are at the national level. Woo! That's the goal. But which is definitely the top of the top of the top, right? In this business, that takes it to a whole new level. But having the privilege and honor of leading a top unit in Mary Kay, I have been able to travel the world with these other top directors that are that are big thinkers and big doers and big dreamers. And I was telling Amy and Crystal before we got on is that I can look back at my 22-year journey in Mary Kay, and I grew a lot in my first 15 years. I grew a lot. I became, definitely a better version of myself, right, than I was. My confidence grew. My faith grew. I mean, so many aspects of my life got better because of my journey in this business. But it went to a whole new level when I got to surround myself with other top directors the last 7 years and get to travel and do life with them and get to expose my people also to these big thinkers and big doers and big dreamers. And even you can ask my consultants that have been with me for a long time the shift, and probably the biggest thing is my mind shift in being with these believers, like these big believers, not believers, in Jesus for sure, but also just in yourself and in your dreams and in this business, right? And what can be accomplished in this business. And so I'm so thankful for the friendships that I've gained, and I'm definitely a better version of myself than I have ever been, and don't we all want to be better than we were yesterday, right?
For sure.
And so I think that that's something that everybody should strive for, is to be better, because when you're a better person, right? When you're more confident, when you are stronger in your faith, when you are doing big things and believing big things, it doesn't only impact you. It impacts everybody around you. And that includes your family, your babies that are watching you at home, right? And I think that makes a difference generationally, not just right here, right now, but in the future to come. And we're all mamas on here. Not everybody that's watching, obviously, are mamas, but you are impacting the people that are around you. So when you're better, everybody around you is better, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So I love that. I love y'all's story, y'all's booby story. I have a really cool God story too, of how we met a few years back at a $1 million reunion, and how that connected our path forever. And I'm so thankful for God bringing you into my life, Amy, and the mentorship that you've given me over the last what has it been, 3 years?
I know. I'm losing track.
Crazy.
Hey,
So
I'd love for y'all to throw something in chat. I want to know, what's a quality you look for in friendship?
yes.
We were talking about friendship. What's a
Yeah.
quality that you most value in friendship? And then, Crystal, what about you for, I love everything you just unpacked, Cindy. What would you add to that, Crystal, as far as just what else, like what being around the women in Mary Kay, how has that impacted your growth?
I mean, I want to go back before I was in Mary Kay. Before I was in Mary Kay, I came off as a very confident person. I was very fun and like to have a lot of fun. With that being said, I was very insecure. I think confidence and the self-esteem are two different things. So I came off one way, but internally I was something a little different. And I was definitely the person that if you were to say, oh my gosh, I joined Mary Kay, I'm going to earn a pink Cadillac, I'd be like, sister, don't quit your day job. I'd be the one that would like crush your dreams. So I know, like, Crystal, why are you saying it? But let me just tell you, there's a guest on here that's like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, my daughter asked me to jump on this, and I'm like, what is she doing? So let's just keep it real. I was definitely feeling that way. I was a dream crusher. And what I found is that it's very easy for someone to be that way, because it helps them feel better when they're intimidated about somebody else's big thinking and dreaming. And Cindy, you said that, like the believers. And I think that was one of the biggest gifts that I got immediately in this business, was someone breathing belief into me. And I didn't realize how much I lacked that. I mean, maybe the last time I had that prior to entering Mary Kay was playing sports in school. Other than that, I really was missing that and didn't realize how much that impacted me. And being around the big thinkers, that I'm a very logical person. And so when I started to be surrounded by people who are, I'm going to earn my Cadillac, I'm going to earn a diamond ring, I'm going to retire my husband, I kind of was a person who was judgmental in my head. I didn't say it out loud. But then my mind started to transform. I started to think differently, think more abundantly. And I was so logical and thinking in a survival mode, because I am such a safety and security person. And that probably comes from being raised by a single mom, of collecting our quarters to go to Taco Bell for dinner, that it's just in me. And so when I started hanging around these Mary Kay people, it really transformed my mind, where I was earning the diamond rings. I earned my Cadillac. I retired my husband before both of our kids are now in school full time, that he was a stay-at-home daddy for 8 years. And Mary Kay completely funded our household. Mary Kay was the reason why we moved from Florida to Washington, which was never a thought on the horizon. Didn't know anyone in Washington, have never even been to Washington State. And I'm so grateful I was able to do that with my business, buy that home. And then now in 2020, back in 2020, when things were a little crazy and people were feeling very uncertain, I was able to move to Washington, be completely mortgage free, buy my house with cash because of the decisions I have made business wise through my Mary Kay business, and be thankful that I have my customer base in California. I have my customer base in Washington, that I literally can take my business anywhere. And that has been a security blanket of mine through the economic ups and downs, that the economy, when it's down, there are certain things, the lipstick index, look it up. It's a real strong place to be. And riding the wave of life in general, the last 15 years, Mary Kay has been such an amazing place. And that is because not only the business plan, the compensation, the cars, the diamonds, the trips, like all the things, it truly is the women have given me such abundant thinking. My life is completely different. I have something I can now transfer not only to my daughter, not only to my son, but to other women. And that is confidence. You can't give something you don't have. That is teaching self-esteem. And so the business has transformed my life in ways that I didn't even know needed to be transformed, from being a bitter Betty to a positive Pollyanna. I don't know. I'm still very logical, but I feel like in life, people are more either logical or heart-based. And I think that it's one that's better than the other. I think we have our gifting. I think we all have it. I was so much more logical. Mary Kay allowed me to tap more into my heart. And then I discovered more the centerpiece that connects your mental and your heart game. And that is the Holy Spirit. And Mary Kay has definitely brought that even to a stronger game in my life as well. So, and this business has been a blessing upon blessing.
I love that so much. I love that you talked about that you didn't even know that you needed that. And I think sometimes if you're in an environment that's all you've experienced, that's all that's familiar to you, you don't even know what's on the other side of that until you're in something else. And I would say mine was similar but I would say positivity. I didn't realize, and my husband likes to remind me, he was like, when I met you, you were so negative, and that was the background. I grew up in a very negative environment, and everything was glass half empty. There was not this positive side of things. And then I got into corporate, and everybody would just complain about what they didn't like. So it was like, all I knew was like negative, complain. And I am so thankful. Because that's all my kids would know. If Mary Kay had not interceded, it would have carried on generationally. So I think that we underestimate, what we surround ourselves. I mean, you're going to be working most likely 8 hours a day somewhere. And when we pretend that we're not impacted by that our home isn't impacted by that, we're just putting our head under a pillow and like pretending we're not like tapping into reality. It does. So your environment that you're in is going to really make a difference. So I'm so thankful for the positivity. And the other thing, when you were talking, Crystal, what I was thinking about, y'all know I love football. Okay. And so it made me, it's usually going to be a sports analogy or a food analogy. Okay. Sorry, can't help it. That's
football and food.
It's always one or the other. Okay. But really, if you're like, okay, have y'all ever played football? Did y'all play like flag football, whatever? I know Emma does. Okay. So, but most of the time women are like, we're in the stands. I was just in the stands watching my son this weekend. Okay. That experience when you're sitting in the bleachers, eating your boiled peanuts or whatever is very different than if you're on the field with heavy pads and, guys coming at you, tackling you, right? Like completely different experience. So I think that when somebody is listening in right now, and guess that y'all, if you're not in Mary Kay, you're on the bleachers eating the peanuts right now. Okay. And so it's hard for you to see how this would impact you.
Right.
Somebody said something yesterday on one of our calls, and I just was like, this is why I say 1 year of Mary Kay in your life,
Everybody needs
you
it.
would become a better version of you. And
Yes.
I don't know you guys, but if there's anything I want you to hear today strongly, and don't miss this. So if you're driving or multitasking, just like pause for a second. 1 year, like if you're deciding if you want to be a part of us and be a part of our awesome sisterhood and, start your Mary Kay business, to me, the yes or no would be, do I want to be a better version of myself a year from now? And if you answer yes to that, to me, it's an easy yes. Like $35, are you kidding me? And if you're like, no, I'm good. I'm completely happy. I don't want to say content because I think it's really healthy to be content. But like, if you're just like, I'm good where I'm at, I don't want to grow, I don't want to be a better version, like there's no judgment here, right? Crystal's not going to judge you, okay? Don't worry, she's done with that.
That's my past life.
Oh, she's beyond that, all right? But if you're in that place where you're like, yes, I'm thinking it's about to be a new year, I really do want to grow. I would like to be more confident. I'd like to be more positive. I'd want to think bigger. All these things that y'all are talking about, I'm resonating with this. Then it should be an easy yes. So why don't we share to kind of like bring it home here and wrap up with what qualities are we looking for? We aren't just looking to take anybody, we do believe that we have something to offer you and you have something to offer us. So Cindy, why don't you share what's one of the top qualities you look for in women you want to work with?
Well, I look for women that really have strong priorities. They really want to live out the priorities of faith first, family second, career third. And when Mary Kay founded this company 61 plus years ago, she founded it on those priorities. And when I learned about this, 2 decades ago, that was something that really impressed me because that is the priorities I wanted to live out in my life. Faith first, family second, career third. Mary Kay said that in that order, everything works. Out of that order, nothing works. And she got a lot of criticism for basing her company on those priorities. But I was not living my life in those priorities that I really desired to live my life in. Teaching in the public school system, it was teaching first, teaching second, and God who. I wasn't even supposed to say Merry Christmas to my kids. I did, but I wasn't supposed to. I wasn't even supposed to hug them. Y'all, little babies, like first and second graders. They told us not to hug them. What? What? So I am looking for women that desire to live out those priorities, faith, family, career.
I love that. When you ask that question, what are the qualities you look for in women? I mean, a list pops off in my head. I want someone fun. I want someone outgoing. I want someone loyal. I want someone honest. I want someone who loves Jesus, all these things. But when I really look at it, like, yes, that's ideal. But I am someone who always roots for the underdog because I don't think that I would have fit somebody's
mold. Mm-hmm.
And, here I am, I was the 7th fastest to go from brand new beauty consultant to national sales director. Wow. I dropped out. I never finished college. Someone who felt like I wasn't good enough, pretty enough, smart enough. I'm terrible at math. I'm terrible at spelling. Like, I am the last person that ever thought that I would be at a successful whatever. Okay. So the person that I look for is I really want the person who has that desire inside of them, that has that burning little something of, I feel like I'm made for something more. The person, no matter if they're stuck in a job that they don't like, whether they're on the top of their game as a successful lawyer, but they're just like, I have more in me. A woman who's retired and she's like, I got more in me. I want to give more. I want to be a mentor, or I want to discover more about me. I know that God has something more for me. Like you said, Amy, everyone should do Mary Kay for a year. Oh my gosh, you'll be able to unpack those gifts that you didn't even know existed inside of you. So if you are the person that just has this burning little, tiny little flame, the littlest flame, it is actually biblical. Don't even remember what book it is, but I read it in my Bible study this last week, is that it is our job to fan the flame. And God will stir up what needs to inside. So if you have that burning little desire, even if it's the little tiniest little spark, give it a try. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm glad I'm glad I did than I wish I would have.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. And, I was kind of torn between two qualities, but you, I think, kind of hit on one, which really you didn't say it, but it's motivation. Right. And so you have to have that in you, but you also have to act on it. Right. Like, else it just becomes this whimsical dream versus a goal. And so women who are kind of goal oriented, they're motivated, because some people, I mean, you have to know yourself. Some people will have to work for somebody else, right? Because they need someone to kind of like tell them what to do. But the thing that I love, I'm a very like, give me a plan and I'll kill it, right? I'm not like, I don't know that I could just like, and I do have entrepreneurial in me, but I do better if someone's like, okay, this works. And so I love in Mary Kay that there is a proven success path. And so I just followed that. And that's what all of us did, right? Like we didn't have to like reinvent the wheel, but we also could make it our own. We didn't have to like become someone that we're not. So if you're motivated and someone gave you the tools, like if you have someone that's going to mentor you and teach you to do it, you're not just there to figure it out, but are you going to be self-motivated on your own to do it? Are you going to be resilient when you get no's? I remember when I was starting and I was like, Will, am I going to be good at this? Or what do you think? He's like, can you handle some no's? If so, I think you'll be great, So it's a part of that. But I would say the number one thing for me that I look for is I look for women who have a passion to help others. This is such a business that you have to serve and have a servant's heart. I'm sure, like Crystal said, we like the money and the gifts and all that. But at the end of the day, we all could go do things and be successful and make money. We have chosen to be here because we have a heart to see other people be successful. We want to help other people reach their goals and help other people reach their dreams. So if you have a heart to serve others, whether that's just serving them with the products, and you love making a woman feel special and feel good, and that's you, like you're like, yes, I would love doing that. Or you could get excited about really impacting women on a deeper level. This can be an amazing business opportunity for you, not just a little side hustle. It really could grow into something more if that's your heart. And so I would just challenge you, if you're not being fulfilled right now at what you're currently doing in your life, God has more for you. He gives us gifts on purpose to use them, but you're going to enjoy them. He's not going to put you in positions and careers that you're miserable at. That's not the God that we serve. So if you're lacking fulfillment, I challenge you to really give this a try. And just to like wrap it up, I would just say all of us in Mary Kay are looking for women who've been asking God to open a door, or asking God for a way out of their circumstance, a different way of life. They want a better way of life and a different quality of life. They're looking for a way to actually live God first and family second and career third. And they just know deep in their core that that's right. And that they want to be their own boss. They want to call the shots. They want to, have that flexibility and that freedom. And they would love to have an income where they could work from home and kind of do it like that. So if this sounds like you, I just want to say you're here not by accident. You're here for a reason. And if you truly are someone that says, I would love to have a Mary Kay business of being my own boss and having that flexibility and being able to live out those priorities. And I am driven to make a positive impact. That's what we're looking for. And I believe that because that's what we're looking for, and if that's what you're looking for, that this is a divine answer to prayer, and you may didn't even know it. And I think all of us would agree that this was a divine answer to prayer for us, and we didn't realize it at first, but we were willing to take that step of faith in taking that. So Cindy, show them, what does that look like? All right. So if y'all were to say yes, what does it take to get started? And then you meet with a mentor like us and we make a game plan. We're just like a coach would, right? We're going to have a great game plan to win. We like to win here.
Yes. So I absolutely love that Mary Kay has made it so affordable for anybody that has a desire for more in their life to say yes, right? That money is not going to hold them back from starting on a path of changing their lives. you can actually start this business right now for as little as $35. That is the only financial obligation that you have, is $35. And that includes your website for people to shop on 24/7. Mary Kay maintains that completely. It also includes your ProPay, which is your credit card processing that is connected to your website. It includes all your training. It includes being able to make up to 50% profit, to save 50% on all your own product. We're our best customers. It opens the door for you, and you can do whatever you want to with this. But it also comes with us. So it comes with your very own personal business coach and mentor that will give you all the tools that you need to be successful at whatever that looks like for you. If it's a little bit of extra Christmas cash and to save some money on Christmas, great. Or it could be an avenue to completely change your life and your family's life forever. $35 is not going to change your pocketbook very much, but it could change your life, just like it has for Crystal and Amy and I over these last decades in this business. And so we are so thankful. None of us made a $35 decision. It was much more, not a lot more. It was $100 when we started back in the day. But I love that Mary Kay has really opened it up to where consultants can start, and where it's not going to, money should never be a reason not to start this business. It should be a reason to start this business, right? If you don't have $35 right now, sister, you need it. You need a business to where you never have. I remember I put my $100 starter kit on a credit card, and I didn't have $100, and I was sick and tired of not having $100 when I wanted it. And so I knew if I didn't do something to change, nothing would change. We do have some options of upgrading. If you would like to, you can talk to your Mary Kay consultant about that. And you have a few weeks to decide if you want to upgrade, but it's only a $35 decision. So we are asking and looking for women that are ready to take a step in the right direction, right? To change their life, to become a better version of themselves, to surround themselves with empowering women that are going to praise them to success. We're looking for people like you. So drop in the comments, kind of like, what characteristics do you think that would make a Mary Kay consultant successful that you possess? We want to know that. We want to know what characteristics that you have that would make you shine in this business. Okay. It can be what we talked about, or it can be other things that you think of that would make somebody successful in this business. And we really would love we love decision makers, right? I have often heard analysis equals paralysis, right? And we don't want there to be so much time set in where, the enemy throws you lies, right? Or other people discourage you from starting something that could change your life. And so we have an A, B, or C, and you're going to drop in the comments. You're going to let your consultant know which one you are. Okay. A is absolutely, this really resonated with me. Like, this really resonated with me today. Absolutely. $35. Let's just give it a try. If you're going to teach me how to do this, what do I have to lose? And really, you don't have anything to lose, honestly. And then B is, you know what? I need a little bit more info. Maybe you're kind of like Crystal and you need more stuff, right? Like, you need to know more, right? She's so logical. She needs all the information. And so maybe you need a little bit more. So maybe B, book me for a coffee chat, for an MK Q&A. I've got some questions. Okay. So I need a little bit more information than what I got today, but I'm interested. Okay. And then C is, you know what? This totally did not resonate with me. I just like to be a happy customer. Okay. What you got sounds good, but I'm not relating to it at all. And that's okay, because Mary Kay is not for everybody, and we love our customers. Let me tell you, we would not be in business if we didn't have our customers. So drop in the comments. Make sure you let your consultant know that invited you to be a part of this, which letter you are, A, B, or C.
Awesome. And remember, it's an easy yes if you want to be a better version of you. So don't overthink it. Thank y'all for being on. Thank you, Crystal, for being our beautiful
Thank you.
Crystal, thank you.
Have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye.